Pastor Phil with this week's devotion. A couple weeks ago, in the course of doing some yard work, I discovered a nest of baby bunnies in our backyard. And one of the neat things that I saw happen with our kids and among our family was there was sort of this instinctual desire to take care of them. We had no connection to these little creatures other than the fact that they were in our yard, but that was enough. We wanted to protect them. We wanted to keep our dog away from them, which we did. And just to make sure that they were all right, to keep an eye out for the mother as she came to visit and at dawn and dusk and things like that. And it got me thinking about the work of the Holy Spirit. You know, we instinctually as humans have this sort of instinctual caretaking feeling that comes up in us, especially when we're in the presence of something that's vulnerable and innocent, like a baby bunny or a baby human. We tend to have affection and an instinct to take care of those innocent and vulnerable things that we run into. But the work of the Holy Spirit, almost you can think about it as an expansion of that instinct. And we have that instinct because we're made in God's image, because there's a spark of God within us that loves as God does. And so that's why we feel that affection and responsibility and caretaking. That's the way that God feels about us. But one of the things the Holy Spirit does is to ask the question, where should that naturally stop? Should I care about just those 4 baby bunnies in my backyard, or should I care about them all? Should I care just about my children, or should I care about yours as well? Should I care just about children in America, or should I care about children in Afghanistan? Should I care about just the people that agree with me, or should I not strive to love those who think I'm an idiot? And those are important questions, and it's important work to do, to realize that the limits we place on our affection, caretaking, and responsibility are sometimes far too narrow. And what God asks of us is to open our minds, open our hearts to a bigger circle of care. And so part of what the Holy Spirit does in our lives is through experiences that we have. I believe this, I know this happens because I've experienced in my own life. The Holy Spirit teaches us through experiences that we've been thinking too narrowly about God's care and affection and how we should imitate that. So celebrate that there's a spark of God in you that makes you a loving and caretaking and responsible person, and let that only grow in your life through the experiences you have to encompass a wider embrace of all God's creatures. Thank you for listening.